There we go. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Best Under Five, your favorite live stream slash podcast that talks about, films under five on IMDB. That's where we got that clever title from. I'm your host, Jarrod Albrick, the yard sale artist. Some know me as Death Probe. I'm joined by my co-host for this show. It's Black Belt Chris. Welcome back, Black Belt Chris.
Thank you, Jarrod.
Yes, indeed, sir. We are back under five. This time around, our movie has a 4.4. And we are going to be talking about Stop or My Mom Will Shoot from 1992, starring Sylvester Stallone and Estelle Getty. And man, I've got some thoughts. And I wanted to stress.
We both have a lot of thoughts.
Yeah, we both do. I wanted to stress something that Chris and I were talking on our chat just via text, and he brought up. So I want to stress this to the audience. I think one of the most important factors as you listen to Chris and I's opinions on Stop or My Mom Will Shoot and does it deserve a 4.4 and blah, 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 is Chris and I both came to this movie like within the last year or so. Like neither one of us have a nostalgia for this. So whereas, I don't know, Jaws 3 and Batman and Robin may tickle a nostalgia funny bone for us, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot just is a kind of a fresh one for Chris and I. So factor that in as you listen to or watch today's episode. And I suppose we can I want to say hi to some people who stopped by in the chat already. I want to say hi to Kathy. Hello to Hines. Let us know what you think on this one. If you've ever seen Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, we'd be interested to hear your opinions. But Chris, let's talk about this film. 1992.
All right.
Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. You know what? I'm just dying to know. I intentionally did not look at the trivia.
Okay.
I'm dying to know what's on your trivia list. So I feel like I have to hear that first. What do you got, man?
Okay, so we'll start with trivia rather than the numbers.
You can go rogue and do numbers if you want. I don't care, but I'm so excited for the trivia.
Well, let's go with the trivia here. I mean, we all know that Stallone was tricked into doing this by Schwarzenegger. Schwarzenegger, he passed on it, but then told Stallone that it was the best thing he'd ever seen. Blah 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 blah. So Stallone took it. I mean, everybody knows that one. But this is the one that this really tripped me up, and I don't think the movie would have been as good. Now, granted, I mean, everybody really poo-poos this movie, but I think they would have poo-pooed it even more if this had been the track they had taken, because I found this on IMDb, because according to Stallone, the role of Tootie in the film was originally supposed to be a very mean and cruel character, which strained the relationship between the two of them. Think throw mama from the train kind of mom. And then when Estelle Getty agreed to play Tootie, the script was rewritten with Tootie being a more genteel, lovingly, and sweet motherly type, who, although she caused havoc at times, she always had the best intentions for her son. Stallone has since acknowledged that he felt the film would have done better, and he would have liked it better if Tootie was mean as originally scripted. I disagree with Stallone on that. I don't think it would have been anywhere near as good.
No, the movie needed a little bit of heart, I think.
Yes.
But yeah, you bring up a couple of things that I want to riff on real quick, and you may have more. But yes, I think a lot of people who are movie savvy know that Schwarzenegger essentially tricks Stallone into doing this movie, which is mildly hilarious. But the other thing you hit on is as a kid in 92, let's see, 92, I would have been about 15 or 16 years old. I remember seeing the previews for this. And the previews and the poster always led me to believe that his mom, Mrs. Bumowski, I think is their name, something like that, was sort of a very gung-ho. I mean, look at the poster. Sort of a gung-ho, dirty Harry type. Like, I always had the impression that she had maybe been a former cop herself or a veteran and was very aggressive. And not what I expected at all. So that's just sort of my only riff off of that fun fact about her being maybe more so. But I'm agree with you over Stallone. I think it needs a bit of heart for it to work. I don't think it would have been as fun with her being mean. I think one of the biggest complaints I see from people about this movie is that she's annoying. not necessarily me.
Point.
Yeah, and that's sort of
point.
the point. It's supposed to rub him the wrong way. Anyway, those were my thoughts. Back to you.
Let's see what else. Oh, well, and we have a goal aside from Estelle Getty being in the Golden Girls. We have another Golden Girl tie-in here. Filmmakers originally wanted B. Arthur to be Tootie. I can picture it, but I don't think I would have liked the movie as much if she was the mom.
In that instance, I feel like if she was a bit, I don't know if cruel is the right word, snarkier, that's B. Arthur's wheelhouse. So that could have worked a little bit, maybe.
Yeah, you're right. They would have had to change Tootie's character a little bit. Maybe not to the, throw mama from the train mean, but definitely more snarkiness. Because, she needs to channel Dorothy from Golden Girls.
Right. And that's one of the thoughts I had was watching this movie is like when it came out in 92, Golden Girls had kind of peaked. Like this was almost an Estelle Getty vehicle more so than a Sylvester Stallone vehicle.
Right. I'm trying to remember when I think in 92 wasn't Golden Girls done for at that point?
Right around there. Like they were a very late 80s, early 90s show.
85, they premiered in 85, 7 seasons. So this would have been
right at the end. That. Yeah, right at the tail
end. It's funny. I was listening to Jim and Lindsay from Children of the 80s. They did a Golden Girls podcast a few weeks ago, and they were talking about Estelle Getty. And at this point in her career, she was having trouble remembering her lines and, had to rely on cue cards or things were written, on props that she would look at to read her lines. And she had a crippling stage fright, apparently. I'm like, they were talking about all this. Like, I had no idea. The way she throws out those one-liners and those zingers, I would have never guessed that. But then they think part of that and part of the fact that she couldn't remember her lines and stuff was due to some Alzheimer's. That I think was either Alzheimer's or dementia that she was starting to suffer from, because that is what she had passed away from. She suffered from later on in life. I'm like, okay, yeah, that kind of makes sense. But I mean, she still delivers a great performance in this, no matter what. It's cute. It's funny.
My only other thought on that is I think even though you and I never watched this back in 92, we watched it with it. For me, it was in the last month. For you, maybe the last year.
Within the last year.
I think there's still a tiny bit of nostalgia hook for us because I can't speak for you, but I probably can. Is there anybody that doesn't like Golden Girls? Like we all have a love for Golden Girls. So I could totally get where someone who was born in the 90s or even the 2000s now going back to watch this won't have that anchor to it. So it won't have as much charm to it as the years go by, which I think is one of the many reasons that the critics just, like I said, if you're a critic who was born in the 90s or 2000s, I can see where this one wouldn't be for you. That is interesting about Estelle Getty. A little sad, of course, but
yep.
While we got a quick here, I just want to say hey to Tony's joined us in the chat. Tony actually says this is a great double feature when paired with Tango and Cash, and then you can pair anything with Tango and Cash, and I'm here for it, man.
Yeah. That movie's bonkers in and of itself.
I love it.
It is not a good movie. It is a bonkers action movie, and that is why it is good. It's because it is just crazy.
All right, I've derailed us again. What else you
got? Let's see. Siskel and Ebert. Roger Ebert said, "This is one of the worst films I've ever seen. It has no funny moments and it has no interesting moments." Well, I hate to tell you, Roger, you're wrong.
Yeah, he was grumpy that day.
Yeah, I guess so. Got up on the wrong side of the bed when he went to watch it and review it.
Yeah, and of course, near the end of the show, I'll have some of the Rotten Tomatoes reviews. I don't think I have Rogers though. I think I have some other ones, but yeah, I got two negatives and a positive. I found a positive one.
You found a positive? Oh, wow.
Yeah, and just for everyone's awareness, since I have it sitting right in front of me, the Rotten Tomatoes score for this movie, from the critics is 14%, which would be like giving it a
Ooh.
1.4 on IMDb.
Ouch.
And from the audience, it's higher, but it's 2.1%.
Oh man.
Anyway, back to Chris.
Now, I don't know about you, but now if you had seen this in 1992 when it premiered, what do you think you would have thought about this? Because I've been thinking about this, because Stallone and Schwarzenegger were at the top of their game. Golden Girls had just ended. A lot of people in my high school, that I went to school with, we all loved the Golden Girls. We thought it was funny. We all love Stallone. But, even when this came out, I saw this poster and I thought, yeah, no, this does not look good.
The immediate vibe, I think, for me was that it would be a popcorn romp. Like I'd go watch it and I'd go be mildly entertained. You know what it reminds me of more than anything else? About the same time, I want to say a year, maybe 2 years before. I think it might have been the summer of 90, might have been 91. There was a Tom Selleck, Don Amici movie. I think it was called Folks. And it's not, there's no law enforcement involved, but it is sort of that dynamic of the handsome, adventurous leading man and his elderly father, and they go through an adventure. Serious vibes off of those two movies.
I am blanking on that.
Yeah, I'm the only guy who saw it. I saw Folks in the theater with my brother, and we were like, oh, that was entertaining, and I liked it, but like, did it leave a mark? No. I think that's how I would have felt about Stop Her Mama Shoot. I would have been like, oh, okay, that was fun, and entertaining. How does it stack up against some of the other Stallone comedies like Rhinestone or Oscar? I probably prefer those two just a little bit, but I don't think there's a wide margin.
See, now I got to go back and watch those two because I have never seen them.
Oh, Oscar is actually, I think, a very funny movie. That's my favorite of the Stallone comedy. Like he can do comedy, I think.
Yeah, after seeing this, I think he can do comedy. He's got to be handed the right script. I mean, I think he could do it. I mean, Schwarzenegger can do comedy. I mean, heck, he did Junior, he did Kindergarten Cop, he did Last Action Hero. Yeah. And yes, Last Action Hero is a comedy.
Yes, it is, and I love it. We will talk more about that later, I assure you. Oh man, what else? What other trivia funds you got for me, man?
See, when Estelle Getty is showing pictures of her son to people on the plane, that black and white picture of a boy in a checkered shirt is actually Stallone as a young boy.
Nice. Nice. I like that. Although I gotta tell you, the most disturbing line in the whole movie to me was as she's coming off the plane the first time, and the stewardess is like, "Oh, you were so sexy in that diaper." Oh. I was like, no, I would delete that line.
yeah, that was.
I see weird. The joke they were going for, but it's just like no.
yeah, that one kind of landed flat even for me.
Yeah,
like I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. So all right. So cast, we've got Stallone. We all know what he's been in, right? I mean, we don't need to run down it.
I got a thing or two. I got a bunch of casts written on my notes.
No, I mean, I can't think of anything.
Yeah, he's had something of a rocky career.
Then we got Estelle Getty,
right?
She was pretty much that. And I didn't know this. She was in Mannequin and Mask.
I didn't remember that either. I've never seen Mannequin. It's high on my list of 80s movies to knock out. I saw Mask, but it was like in the 80s when I saw it. So I don't remember.
I know I haven't seen it in probably 30 years. Jo Beth Williams, I kept trying to figure out where do I know her from.
I know where you know her from.
That's right, Filtergeist 1 and 2.
Filtergeist, baby. All right, she's in my notes, so I'm gonna riff on that real quick. She's on my notes.
Okay.
Too. I thought she was really good casting. I thought because she was age appropriate for Stallone. She was older. She was probably about, I don't know, I'm guessing here, but she's probably about almost 40, maybe 40 when she did this movie. And she looked great. She looked beautiful, but she had that realistic woman feel to her, like she could be a police lieutenant. And I thought she was just really good casting for this. I thought, it would have been so easy to go for something a little more sexy, a little younger, for Stallone's love interest. But I was like, that's very rare that Hollywood like does sort of that age appropriate, and she looked great. So I thought she was a big win in this.
She was 44.
There you go. She looked terrific.
Yeah.
She looked terrific. That's probably because I'm 50 now. Like when I was in high school, I'd be like, what's with the old lady, right? I don't know. No, I think she looked good either way, to be honest with you.
And okay, so we got JoBeth Williams. We got Roger Rees as the one of the villains in here. He's the sheriff of Nottingham from Men in Tights.
Where else do we know him from, Chris? He's been on Best Under 5 before. This is his second appearance on Best Under 5.
Shoot, what was it? I can't think of what it was now.
He played the weird guy that owned the tower in the tower.
That's right.
And as soon as I saw him in this, I was like, is that the tower guy? And I wrote it down. I was like, I can't wait to drop this one on Chris. He's going to love this one. Second appearance for Roger Rees.
You got one on me. You got one on me. And then we got Martin Ferrero, who was Izzy Moreno in Miami Vice. One of my favorite characters out of Miami Vice, besides Crockett and Tubbs, was Izzy.
I forgot about him, but you know where I most associate him?
Where?
And this dude must have had a heck of a 92 because this other movie came out in 92. He's the lawyer that gets eaten on the toilet in Jurassic Park.
Yep.
So yeah, I was like, oh, that's the lawyer that got eaten on the toilet in Jurassic Park. And then I was like, wait, that was also 92. That dude had a little bit of a 92 resurgence.
Yes, he did. Yeah, my theory is, after being a snitch and informant for Crockett and Tubbs, he became a jailhouse lawyer, turned his life around, and then started working for InGen. And then met his untimely demise, in an outhouse with a T-Rex.
His law degree while he was in jail. I like it.
And the other guy that caught my eye in this was the guy that sold Tootie, the big guy with the beard that was selling Tootie the gun, towards the beginning of the movie, Mitchell. I know this guy. Where have I seen him? He's a character actor. He has been in a crap ton of movies. Always plays the tough biker. He was in Beyond the Law with Charlie Sheen, Malone with Burt Reynolds. I'm like, that's where I recognize him from.
Yeah, he's a character actor who shows up in a lot of stuff.
He's a great character actor too. Whenever he shows up, I mean, the bit roles he does are great.
Spot any other character actors that might have had a bigger, brighter future, Chris?
You're gonna dump one on me, and
I am
myself for not recognizing him.
I am. It's gonna happen. Brace yourself. The very beginning, Stallone's character and his partner.
Oh yes, I know who you're gonna say now.
Take down illegal sales. I think they're buying TVs or something.
Yeah, they're buying TVs, electronics.
Yeah, and sort of the heavy guy that was sort of their go-between was played by a very young Ving Rhames.
Ving Rhames, yes. As soon as you started saying the beginning, like, oh yeah, that one slipped by. I remember it, but it slipped by me.
Yes, Ving Rhames. I was like, look at baby Ving Rhames going on over here.
Let's see what else we got. The budget and profit. It was released February 21st, 1992. Domestic profit was 28 million. International made 42 million. Worldwide total, you're talking 70 million, and the film cost 45 million to make. So it wasn't a total flop.
No, it made money, or at least broke even after you factor in advertising.
Came close to breaking even, I think.
Yeah, it probably made a little bit of money. Not Stallone numbers, especially at this point.
No.
Because as Kathy pointed out in the chat, this is his film between, I think it's a typo, Rocky 5, because for Rocky 5 was 90, and Cliffhanger. So yeah, I
don't think it had a chance.
Yeah, I mean, and Rocky 5 didn't do particularly well. It's the worst of the Rocky films, but I still like it. That we're not here to cover that. Cliffhanger is another movie I didn't come to until a couple of years ago, by the way.
Seriously?
Man. But like it's a Rocky movie. Nope, I'm not talking about Cliffhanger, although it is rocks in it. Anyway, this is sandwiched between a Rocky movie, maybe not the best one, but a Rocky movie. So it's up there. Okay. And Cliffhanger, which people really like, and I get it. I finally saw it, and I get it why. So yeah, I think Kathy's point is well made that this is not to those two levels of Stallone-ness.
Yeah. Yep. And it had a tough going in theaters too, because it opened a week after Wayne's World did, and that was huge.
Oh, this was Wayne's World? on the heels
This
of that?
was Wayne's World time too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I remember Wayne's World was still in the theaters come summer because a bunch of friends and I from high school, I graduated in 92. So we're all out of school. We're like 20 of us went to go catch Wayne's World at the theater. I think at that point it might have been in the Dollar Theater, but it was still in the theater.
Still there. You graduated in 92? How are you still alive?
I graduated in 92. It's funny you mentioned that. I showed something to Christy and Adrian last week. It was a picture of B. Arthur, you know, when she was in Golden Girls, and next to a supermodel, you know, and you know, B. Arthur's playing 51, and this supermodel is in her 50s, and you know, it's like what we used to think 50 looks like and what 50 looks like now. And I'm like, yeah, that is so true.
Oh yes. I'm not that much younger than you. I graduated in 95.
But by 80 standards, we're old.
Yeah, we are definitely old. We are old. We are
but
old.
It was so opening weekend, it was Wayne's World, Stopper My Mom Will Shoot in second place, Fried Green Tomatoes in third at 9 weeks in the theater, Medicine Man, which I have not seen in ages.
I saw it in
Sean
the theater.
Connery.
It's one of my favorite Connerys. Yeah.
I did not see that in the theater. I saw it on tape. And then The Hand That Rocks the Cradle coming in at fifth place at
the theater
7
too.
weeks. Yeah.
When you read that list of movies, I saw almost all of those in the theater.
The only one of those I saw in the theater was Wayne's World, and I don't think I've ever seen Fried Green Tomatoes.
I saw that on VHS. I think it's very much a mom movie. My mom rented it.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
definitely.
It was all right. Yeah, I mean, Tom Skerritt is very good in it, if I'm remembering it correctly. He's very funny.
And now we get to the director, and
yes,
you better know who this director is.
It's in my notes just in case you didn't cover it.
Who is Roger Spotswoodian? What do we all know him for?
I would say Tomorrow Never Dies.
Yes, Tomorrow Never Dies, and 48 Hours, The Sixth Day, and he also did another 48 Hours, which was not that great.
I'm really familiar with the first one, obviously. But
I really like the first one. The second one, yeah, not so
I haven't
much.
seen it in a long time, but the fact that it didn't leave an impression on me does tell me something.
But
I didn't know Roger Spotswood directed all those other movies. I just know him as a James Bond director.
Right. Well, when I saw Roger Spotswood, I'm like, "Ooh, hey, James Bond director." Yeah. I couldn't remember off the top of my head right away which one he had done, but then I'm like, "Oh yeah, that's right, Tomorrow Never Dies." And then I had no idea he did The Sixth Day with Schwarzenegger, and that I didn't watch that until probably 2-3 years ago too, and I like that one.
Yes, I like that. I saw it theater, by the way. I saw Sixth Day in the theater. Yeah, that was one of the more common vibes when I did see positive thoughts on Stopper My Mom Will Shoot. People were like, Spotswood really is good at filming action, which the action scenes are well filmed.
Oh, yeah, the action scenes are great. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think given the right script, he could probably do a good job with a straight up comedy, not comedy action.
Yeah, I mean, he's just a good director overall. I mean, there's a reason the Bond people hired him, and Tomorrow Never Dies is
right. It's a solid Bond movie.
Yeah, no doubt. I mean, especially since I just posted my interview with over on Her Majesty's Secret podcast with Bruce Fierstein, who wrote the movie.
Oh wow!
You will not see me bash it in public. I won't bash it in private either because I like it quite a bit.
I like it. It's one of my favorites of the Brosnan era.
We got a question in the chat from Tony who says, "I'm 50, so my question is, how is Jarrod 50 and not class of 92?" I was held back, I guess. I turned 50 this year. I turned 50 later on this year. I was one of those older kids in my class. Like school would start. I have a November birthday, so school would start, and then so I was 18 almost my entire senior year. If that helps explain it, the math doesn't work, but whatever. No further questions, Tony.
Stop digging into my age.
Yeah, we're done with that part of the show. But yeah, I thought it was as soon as I saw Spotswood's name pop up, I was like, oh yeah, that's awesome, man. So, what else you got? Have we exhausted your notes yet? I only have a couple.
Yeah, I think that is it. Then it's just notes on the movie itself.
Oh wow, he's got more notes.
So yeah. Oh yeah, I usually make running notes as I'm going with the movie. It's like, oh yeah, I like this scene, or wait, what the heck's going on here?
Yeah, not often that I make physical notes for this show. I usually just kind of go, oh, here's a couple, three things I want to mention. But this one just had so many. I had on my notes. I had Roger Reese because this was his second appearance on Best Hunter 5, and I was like, that's a dude from Tower, right? And I had Martin Ferrero because I was like, oh, this is a Jurassic Park guy.
Yep.
And Joe Beth Williams, I thought she was a good choice. Roger Spottiswoode was on here. Ving Rhames was on my list. Who else is on my list, you might ask? Well, Leroy Neiman, who's not in the movie. He's a painter.
Oh.
And he paints a lot of sports stuff. And I just got a kick out of the fact that Stallone's character in his apartment, he has a Leroy Neiman painting hanging up. And Stallone's character in Rocky has a Leroy Neiman painting hanging up. If you go to Stallone's restaurant in Rocky Balboa, there's a Leroy Neiman hanging on the wall. I'm starting to think Stallone is shelling art for Leroy Neiman. That's all I'm saying.
Wonder how much he's got hanging up in his house.
It's a very colorful painting. It stands out in the background brightly. As soon as you see it and recognize it, you'll be like, oh yeah, I remember that from the Rock.
Now I'm gonna go back and have to look for that.
Yeah, I tell you what, if you just Google Leroy Neiman paint, you'll see his style, and then just Google Leroy Neiman Rocky. Leroy Neiman, Stopper Mom will shoot. You'll see him. That's all you gotta do. All you gotta do. So yeah, that was my other name on here. So I only have like basically a couple more topics to cover. If you got something, go ahead, man.
As I watched it, I was seeing one thing that stood out in my mind was the scene with the jumper on the ledge.
Yes.
I was watching that, and it didn't come to me until I watched it again a couple of weeks ago. I'm thinking, this scene is straight out of Lethal Weapon.
Yep. That was the first thought I had when I was watching. I was like, this is very Lethal Weapon-y.
And I love how the guy bails after Tootie starts talking to him. The guy's like, I feel sorry for you. I'm done. I'm out.
My problems aren't so bad.
My problems aren't anywhere near as bad.
Yeah, that was not bad. This isn't in my notes either, but just occurred to me, just another vibe, since you got that Lethal Weapon vibe off of it, especially when it's sort of the pure action beats for Stallone in the movie, like at the beginning and when he's trying to save his mom and that kind of stuff. Those pure action beats, because he does interject a little bit of humor in there. He'll make a little quip here or there. Those to me felt very moving towards Beverly Hills Cop, where the action beats are solid, but there's humor injected.
Yes.
So that, and then of course that made me remember that Beverly Hills Cop began its life as a Sylvester Stallone vehicle. Right. He ended up leaving that and sort of remolding it into Cobra. And they said, well, we'll take this Beverly Hills Cop thing. We'll try Eddie Murphy with it, which thank God, right? Because that's
yeah. I can't imagine Stallone do it in place of Eddie Murphy and Beverly Hills Cop.
No, it couldn't have been as good. But when I see him do stuff like he did here, where he is a little bit funny during the action pieces, I get it. I'm like, he could do Beverly Hills Cop. I think if he did, it'd be more like Stop From Shoot. It'd be fun and forgettable.
Yes.
Right. Yeah. Eddie Murphy made that his thing. Anyway, back to you.
Yeah. And I also like the introduction of Estelle Getty into this and how she just kind of inserts herself into his life, as soon as she gets there.
Cleaning the gun was pretty funny.
Yeah, that cracked me up, Well, what I want to know is why in the world is Stallone keeping his gun in with his dirty laundry?
Yeah, just laying around in his dirty laundry. Good question.
Like I realize you are the only person there, but come on, man, let's exhibit a little bit of gun safety here.
The dude had like a 38 randomly in his glove box.
Yes,
in California. That's going to violate. But yeah, I guess. Yeah,
he's a cop, so he can probably get away with that
as long as it was registered.
I love how Tootie, she's like, oh, look at this, it's all greasy and dirty, and she starts cleaning it and scrubbing all the bluing off with the bleach, and that the line where Stallone says like, well, he sniffs it, and he's like, Clorox, I can't shoot this thing, it'll explode. And I thought, really? And so I did some Googling, did some detective work, and found out that yes, if you bleach metal, it causes pitting and erosion and rust in as little as 24 hours.
Oh man, I did not know.
So you do it often enough, I would assume that it would definitely affect the firearm, but right off the bat, yeah, maybe not. But either way, I was like, oh, that's something I learned today.
Speaking of things I've learned today, Tony in the chat says that Stallone was a wonderful artist himself. And now he got me wanting to Google Sylvester Stallone's art.
I did know that.
I feel like I've heard that, but I've never seen any of it.
Yeah, I've never seen it. I've heard it. Now I think we need to go dive into this, maybe.
Yeah, clearly.
Let's see what else we got here. Right? Oh, yeah, when she goes to buy the gun, the scene in the gun store is funny. This little old lady in there looking for a pistol. And the old guy's like, well, yeah, this has got some real stopping power. And she's like, well, no, that's not what he had.
I liked the end result when she gave him the present, which I believe it ended up being a Mac 10.
Yes, it was a Mac 10. I got that in my notes. If she wraps up the Mac 10 she bought out of the back of a van. Yeah, I bought it from this really nice man from the back of a van.
I liked kind of like how that scene ended, because again, you have to have a little heart in it. So you do feel a little bad because she's genuinely hurt because she wanted to do something nice. Right. But I love the line read that Stallone gives when she's like, because I wanted to surprise you, or I wanted you to be surprised. He was like, I was.
Yes, I was.
The way he delivers the line is like, I was surprised, but for all the wrong reasons.
Right. Yeah, you're right. He delivers that. He delivers that with the right enthusiasm and inflection. That yes, I was, and I'm not happy about it.
The other unsung hero in the movie for me is the dog, who they do some good randomly comically placed barks for that dog. Sometimes when the dog barks, it really punctuates the scene. I was like, that's pretty clever.
Oh, and the line with the cab driver. The cab driver turns around and looks at Tootie and goes, "You sure you want to get out here?" And she goes, "Don't worry, I'm from Newark."
That's true, though. I've been to LA and I've been to Jersey. She's gonna be fine.
Okay, see, I've never been to either, so I can't speak to that.
She's gonna be all right.
And I'm also trying to figure out how in the world that they can keep their little romance a secret in the office. It's like, dude, you're dating.
No, I think everybody knew.
Everybody knows this, but yet Stallone is thinking, we can't act like this in the office. We can't let them know. I'm like, dude, they.
Oh, he did deliver a pretty good line about it earlier, where I think it was in this movie where she said something about it, and he was like, "It's like it's a room full of detectives."
Yes,
I think they're gonna figure this out. But yeah. Oh man.
Let's see what else we got here.
I've got as we kind of move towards our thoughts of sort of rescoring and our sort of overall thoughts on the movie. I did have in my notes that I think, to be fair to this movie, we should compare it, since Schwarzenegger tricked Stallone into doing this. We should compare it to a couple of comparable Schwarzenegger films. All right, so I kind of want us to compare it to Twins, because that was sort of Schwarzenegger's first foray into comedy. Which may be unfair because it's not Stallone's first foray into comedy.
Okay, full disclosure here. I have never seen Twins.
All right, I will compare it to Twins.
I should hang my head in shame.
So, fun fact about Twins, by the way.
Shame.
By the way, there's a connection here.
What?
I just realized. I'm almost positive I saw in the credits of this movie that Ivan Reitman's a producer on this, on Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. And Ivan Reitman was the director of Twins.
Right.
So that's interesting. That just came to me. But anyway, if you compare this to Twins, which is a movie that Arnold Schwarzenegger did for free, by the way. Well,
no way.
He didn't take a fee for it. What he said is he'd take a percentage of the back end. And Hollywood decided. Right. Yeah, was that right? Ivan Reitman? Yeah.
Ivan Reitman was a producer on the show.
Yep. So there's a connection for you. But yeah, just weird fun fact about Twins. Schwarzenegger said he would do it for free because he wanted to be able to do a comedy movie and they weren't offering him. He said, I'll do it for free. Well, I'll take a percentage on the back end, like how well the movie does.
Right.
I'll bank on how well the movie does. And studios, I don't think since then have never made a deal with like that with anybody else because he made so much money.
He made a lot on
he
that.
made so much money by not taking a fee and doing just strictly back end percentage. But anyways, because Twins was a huge hit. And as I was watching Stop My Mom Will Shoot It, I thought, well, that's kind of a fair comparison. So let me compare it to a Schwarzenegger comedy. So you haven't seen Twins. I've seen it, so this just be Jarrod's thoughts. I thought in the end, is Twins a funnier, more entertaining movie? Yes. Is it by a large margin? Nah, not a large margin. There's a margin, but not a large one. And I think the real difference there is I think there's the chemistry between Schwarzenegger and DeVito is better than the chemistry between Stallone and Getty. This is not bad chemistry between Stallone and Getty, I don't think. But like you were saying, Chris, if we have a little more information, it's starting to become a struggle for her, and maybe that bleeds over a little bit into the performances. So Kathy in the chat says she's not a huge fan of Twins. So there, everybody.
Really?
I don't know if I'd say huge fan. It's another movie I saw in the theater in the 80s, and it has a nostalgic place in my heart. I think I probably see where she's going with this because Danny DeVito's character is very difficult to like in the movie. He's not a good dude, but that's kind of the whole character arc where the one guy has a positive influence on the other guy.
Okay. Yeah. See, I haven't seen it. My wife has. Christy's seen it, but I never have. She likes it. So I'm thinking, okay, I got to check this out at some point here.
It's entertaining. It's again, it's not Schwarzenegger's high watermark, but for his foray into comedy, not bad. And Kathy in the chat is correct. If you want the best Arnold Schwarzenegger comedy, you have to go to Kindergarten Cop. So does Kindergarten Cop blow this movie out of the water? Yes, it does. But the other movie I wanted to compare this to, since it came out in 92, Schwarzenegger did another comedy in 92, which was The Last Action Hero, which I think is infinitely better than this movie. All right, so there's my I love The Last Action. Like I love it.
I have gone on a roller coaster ride with that movie. When I first saw it, I thought it was great because, it's Schwarzenegger poking fun at himself. He was ahead of the curve.
So meta.
In that respect. Yes. And then I watched it a few years later. I'm like, oh God, this is crap. And then I've watched it probably 2 or 3 times in the last probably 5-6 years, and I'm thinking, this is not as bad as I thought it was. This is actually a pretty good movie when you look at it for what it is.
It has its moment. Like it is a very clever movie, and it's a very fun movie. Although it deals with some dark stuff. It's a little all over the place. You know me, I love bonkers. So
yeah, yep.
So in the battle of 1992 comedies, I'm gonna have to say Schwarzenegger totally did win. But if we lived in a reality where we could swap them, let's say Schwarzenegger did Stop Or My Mom Will Shoot and Stallone did The Last Action Hero, I think we're worse off in both pictures. I think Stallone is much better for Stop Or My Mom Will Shoot than Schwarzenegger would have been. And I think that Schwarzenegger is the only guy who could have done The Last Action Hero.
Yeah, I think you're right.
He makes it work so well. Like Tony in the chat just said, Last Action Hero, the best bit of Shakespeare acting on film. To be or not to be, not to be. Anyway,
what's funny about that movie is that is the first movie novelization I've read where there is more in the movie than there is in the book with Last Action Hero, which is wild.
Yeah, that movie has an interesting production history and maybe the worst decision making for a release date in movie history, because even Schwarzenegger himself was like, do not release it on this date, because it was like the week of or the week after Jurassic Park.
That's right.
And Schwarzenegger was like, we are not going up against Spielberg, and they're like, we're doing it anyway. They didn't listen to him, and I was like, oh man.
Even if it was a great action movie, say it was T2, there's no way. No way.
Just let it. Yeah, well, I mean, Jurassic Park stayed in theaters for a while, but I agree with Juan. They probably should give it at least 3 months and then release your movie once everyone saw it and go, oh, Anyway, this isn't Last Action Hero cast, but it could be. But yeah, I just want to take a minute to sort of compare the Stop and Mile shoot with those two films, those two Schwarzenegger comedies, and I do think the Schwarzenegger comedies come out on top. But I will roll that into my thoughts on this Stop and Mile shoot. I think it's I guess alluded to earlier. You asked me how I'd feel about it if I watched it in high school. Probably the same way I feel now. I think it's like a fun popcorn movie. Like I watched it, I was entertained by it. I thought it was a cute movie. You know how you say this is a cute movie. Like,
yeah.
Do you need to watch it? You know, if you're still, I'm going to watch all the Sylvester Stallone films. Okay, then watch it. If you're just a passing Sylvester Stallone fan, do you need to see it? No, you don't need to see it.
No. Not
required viewing. If you're a Sylvester Stallone guy and you're checking them all off and you're getting to this one, you're like, oh man, I heard the critics said this was so bad. That almost works in your favor, I think, at this point in our lives, Chris, because everybody said how bad it was. Yes. I think we both went into it going, oh my gosh, how bad can this be? And it wasn't.
See, that's what I thought.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, okay, this is going to be horrible. And I'm thinking, yeah, no, this is nowhere near as bad as everyone made it out to be. Not even close. I mean, I've seen much worse.
Yeah, I think do we have Nickelback effect going on here? You know how it's very cool to hate Nickelback, especially for a long time. I think that's fading now, but like, was it very cool to hate Stop or My Mom Will Shoot? It might have been. It might have been.
I think you're right.
Batman and Robin.
Yep.
It was very cool to hate Batman and Robin, and I was one of the people who did it. But it's weird how like times change. And you go to the movies, like if you've gone to the movies in the last 10 years, which I have a few times, I'm very selective with what I watch these days. A lot of Hollywood just isn't for me anymore. It changes you, man. We talked about this on Batman and Robin. I've seen so many same Marvel and DC movies that watching Batman and Robin now is a breath of fresh air. I kind of feel that way about Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Like there's so much heavy cinema now. Like cinema's so damn heavy most of the time. My latest breath of fresh air, dude, was the new Naked Gun movie. I was like, oh my God, we're doing this again. Thank God.
Yeah. Well, did you go see The Running Man, the new Running Man?
I did not. That's just
you should have. You should have. I enjoyed it. When I heard they were remaking it, I thought, okay, no. But then when I saw the preview for it, when we went to see The Naked Gun, Adrian leaned over and looked at me and he goes, what do you think? And I go, darn right, we're going to see that.
I saw the trailer and I thought, at least it looks like a different or very different take, which I would appreciate.
And that is why, if it had been kind of, I'm not going to say a shot-for-shot remake of the original.
Like if they
no way.
But
this was closer to what Stephen King wrote in the novel, which was why I was down for it.
Right. I guess it made me nervous because I got fooled before because I saw that years ago when they remade Total Recall. I was like, well, at least it's a completely different vibe. Let me give it a chance and talk about the most forgettable movie, which is ironic for a movie called Total Recall. Anyway, back to Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. The point is there, listeners, I think you probably got me, like, because I've got through several years of just heavy cinema, like every movie has some kind of a message in it now. It's kind of refreshing to watch something like Stop or My Mom Will Shoot, which doesn't have the biggest message in Stop and My Mom Will Shoot is sort of like appreciate the people who love you. And that's it. And it's fun and it's light. So yeah.
I do like the way the movie ended, when they're getting ready to put Tootie back on the plane and she's looking around. She's like, hey, I think I recognize that guy.
From Unsolved Mysteries.
And it's so funny because, she plays stupid at the beginning, about, what she saw at the murder. And then you come to find out, it's like, well, man, she'd make a great detective because she starts rattling off. It's like, yes, it was this kind of car with these wheels. The guy that did it was, he was this height, this was his hair color, this was his tattoos, build, this was his age.
That was funny too. Like, I watched the movie twice in preparation for this, so it was even funnier because if you're sort of breezing through it the first time when she's being interviewed by the other detective, you kind of get the feeling that she's an old lady, she's not really sure, she's kind of your life. At my second viewing, I realized that she's intentionally screwing him over, and that makes it so much funnier.
I caught that the first time I watched it, and I was like, okay, that's funny. That is funny.
I quasi got it the first time. I was like, it was sort of like, is she really messing with him? And then the second time I was like, oh, she's 100% messing with this guy. Yeah. It took me a minute. So, Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. I think the biggest takeaway, Chris, is something we both hit on. Critics destroyed this movie.
Mm-hmm.
And that helped. You and I just watched it within the last year, both of us. That helped get that bar really low. And so when we went into it, I think we were both like, it's not so bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's not so bad.
Yeah.
Like, it's an entertaining. That's another thing I want to point out with this movie. It's 87 minutes long. It is an absolute popcorn. Have a little fun. Less than 90 minutes. Have a good time with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Chris and I will score them momentarily. I'll bring in my Rotten Tomatoes reviews, of which I pulled down 3. There are several on my Plex, but I pulled down 3. My first one is from a guy named Steve Crum from videoreviewmaster.com, and he said, gag. Stallone's character should have been shot by overbearing Getty mom. I get the feeling
harsh.
I picked this one because I thought this was ridiculously over the top harsh, and like that's your feedback. Mm-hmm. His character should have been shot by his mom. Oh, well, you are a Rotten Tomatoes reviewer, Mr. Steve Crum, and we're just a small internet show, but no. My answer to you, Steve, is no.
Yeah, you're not wrong. You're not right. You're not right.
You're too far. All right, let's try Michael A. Smith from Nolan's Pop Culture Review, who says Sly is well-meaning, but just misses the mark. I think this is a respectable negative review.
Yeah.
If his brand of comedy doesn't land for you, that's fine.
Yep.
And that's fine. Doesn't bother me one bit. That seems like a valid criticism. And then, Chris, I found a positive one. Bob Thomas from the Associated Press says Stallone has developed into an accomplished comedy actor. Knowing to react to situations rather than cause them. Getty has the role of her lifetime, spouting one-liners with fine precision. I like that bit in there where he says Stallone knows how to react. Like, his reaction to things is the source of his comedy.
Yeah.
He's not a catalyst comedian. He's a response comedian.
Yeah. He's not the one that throws out the one-liners. He's reacting to other people, and that's what makes it funny.
That's what makes
you're
it funny.
You're not wrong. I think, like you said, like his reaction to getting the right pen as a present.
You're supposed to be surprised. I am. Yeah. Whenever people don't understand, and if you do understand sort of the catalyst and reaction comedy, I always point to Men in Black. Will Smith is a catalyst comedian. The things he does and says are very funny. Tommy Lee Jones is exceptionally funny in those movies because he's a reaction comedy guy. Yep. It's all about how is this very stoic gentleman, when he does those little micro reactions, makes it super funny. So that's Jared's quick educational moment for those of you who don't understand catalyst reaction comedy.
People that listen to this will learn something.
Yeah, we're trying to be educational here at Best Under 5. And it is about that time, Chris, unless you have anything else to get off your chest.
I've got nothing. Nothing. Well, actually, I do have one thing. Do you think this would have done better if someone like Tom Hanks or who was the other one?
Recast.
Tom Hanks had been in the role, or Michael Keaton? Those are the two that came to mind.
Oh, interesting recast. Yeah, that's a question that sort of flitted through my brain as I was watching it, and I didn't write it down. So I'm glad you did, Chris. I was thinking about that. I was like, if we recast this with somebody else, Michael Keaton might have been pretty good. Tom Hanks, sure.
So I think either one of those two would have been, I think either one of those two, this probably would have done better.
Yeah. What was this? 92.
92. Keaton was... he was out of Batman at that point, right?
He just done Batman Returns.
Because I could, that's right, because Batman Returns was 91, 92-ish.
Yeah, it's 92.
92.
So yeah, this might have been a neat vehicle for him. Yeah, that's interesting.
I think I would pick Michael Keaton over Tom Hanks if I had.
Yeah, this movie, strangely enough, might have worked. It might have worked for the aforementioned Eddie Murphy. I would have been interested to see his brand of humor in this. Now the real question is, who do you get to play the Estelle?
Who do you get to play as mom, though?
Yeah, that'd be an interesting recast.
Estelle Getty's his adoptive mom.
Yeah, I'd go. Yeah, it's fine with me.
Yeah, because I am totally blanking.
But yeah, I'm trying to just thinking about the time frame.
Because Whoopi Goldberg doesn't work because they're too close in age.
Charlie Sheen might have could have done it.
Yeah.
But interesting thought. And I think if it had been, let's say, Hanks or Keaton, because I think those are two good ones you picked right off the top. If it had been either one, I think it would have done better with the critics, at least. Mm-hmm. I think the critics are automatically programmed to not want to see Stallone do anything but Stallone stuff. So that's just my
right.
But yeah, so I guess it's about time for you and I to rescore this movie if necessary. I'll remind our listeners and viewers it has a 4.4 on IMDb, which is how it got onto the show. This was supposed to be like the October episode of this show, but there was a lot of fumbles, bumbles, and holiday cheer between here and there, but we got to it. 4.4 out of 10 is what IMDb says. What does Chris say?
I'm giving it a solid 6.
Chris, for the first time maybe in our history, I don't know, I don't keep up with these things, I'm gonna agree with you. I'm not even gonna go higher. You know what, maybe just for
we got a match game,
maybe for continuity's sake I should go 6.1 just because I'm always a little higher than Chris.
Got to do the prices right there, and outbid me just a hair.
Just a hair. I don't want to go over. The yodeler's gonna fall off the cliff if I go too far. No, I honestly in my head I was thinking this is a 6. It's a 6. There's nothing inherently wrong with it, which is a lot of the critics would have you believe. No, this is a movie it's not gonna blow your socks. It's not T2. It's not Rocky. It's not Rambo. You kind of get what you see on the poster. It's 90 minutes.
It's a silly comedy popcorn flick. I'm not going into this for anything earth-shattering.
Yeah, if you were,
mind-blowing action.
If you were on a flight, you're on a flight that takes 90 minutes, and you pull up the little in-flight thing screen and you go, stop or I'll shoot. Go ahead. You won't regret it. It's going to kill 90 minutes, and you're going to be like, yeah, that was kind of fun.
That's when I watched it.
Oh, really?
I downloaded it onto my phone and I was watching it in the airport as we were getting ready to go on vacation right before Christmas. See? That was I think the third time through that I'd seen it, but I was like, it's been about 8 months since I'd watched it, so I'm like, I got to refresh my memory.
Kathy in the chat says she agrees with the 6 as well. Anybody else in the chat's welcome to drop their thoughts on this one. But yeah, that's we're both going 6s on this movie. Not a 4.4, not at all. Let's see. The only thing I have left to do is to show you guys Jarrod's updated rankings for season 2. As a reminder, we're doing 10 episodes per season. We're going to find out what each season's champion is. And then if you won last season, you get to carry over into this season. So last season's champion was Jaws 3. And it has been dethroned slightly by the slimmest of margins this season. This is where I currently stand before we add Stop or Mom Will Shoot. Just a reminder to our listeners. I know our viewers can see it on the screen. But to our listeners, I have, of the 6 movies on our list, coming in at number 6 is Carnosaur, which I still liked. Just because it's at the bottom doesn't mean I didn't like it. Number 5 was the kind of bonkers 2010 Sherlock Holmes from, I think it was Sci-Fi Channel that did that one.
Yep, Sci-Fi.
Number 4 was Assassin from 1985, which I just got reacquainted with because the podcast version of that episode just dropped. So I just listened to that. Kim, that was fun. Number 3 is our just last month's entry was Santa Jaws, which was better than it had a right to be.
Oh yeah.
Number 2 is Jaws 3. And number 1 is Batman and Robin, which bothers a lot of people. I've heard from some friends and family that have
Really?
Batman and Robin's at the top of my list, but hey, it's just like we said, once you know what you're in for, it's pretty entertaining.
I think the guys from Surely You Can't Be Serious podcast would definitely disagree with this on that ranking.
Well, bah is what I say to that. All right, so where does Stop or My Mom Will Shoot land on my ranking? I will now reveal it.
I think I know where it's going to land. I think I know where it's going to land. It's going to unseat Santa Jaws. I was right.
You nailed it.
Because that's where I'd put it too.
Wow, we're getting to be of one mind of these things now. You absolutely nailed it. I have it at number 3. It has pushed down Santa Jaws by a hair. Santa Jaws was such a surprising good movie. Well, good
yes, it was.
It's not a good movie.
No, it's not. It's a good bad movie.
It's a good movie. Yes.
That. Yes. And I am very serious about that. There are some lighthearted moments in that, and it doesn't take itself seriously. They know what they were doing.
Yes,
and that is why it is such a good bad movie.
Yes, it's self-awareness.
Yes,
but anyway, yeah, I have Stop or My Mom Will Shoot at number 3 now. So just looking back at my list, and the number now 7 spot is Carnosaur. 6 is the sci-fi version of Sherlock Holmes from 2010. 5 is Assassin from 1985. 4 is Santa Jaws. At number 3 is Stop or My Mom Will Shoot. Number 2 is Jaws 3. And number 1 is Batman and Robin, still the reigning season 2 champion. So, and I usually ask Chris how his list looks, but it sounds like our list is pretty on lock here.
Our lists are in lockstep here for this season.
Oh, wow. Yeah. This is what happens when you start podcasting with somebody. It's like with Jason and I on Action Film Face Off, the scores start becoming very similar. But there you have it, folks. There's Jarrod's current ratings. This is now the number 3. This is episode, I think, 6 of the season. So we still have 4 more movies to go.
6.
Yeah, we have 4 more films to go, and we'll figure out, that will reveal to us what the champion of season 2 is going to be, and we'll carry it over to season 3. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is that Stop or My Mom Will Shoot done and dusted. I hope you guys have enjoyed this best under 5. Thank you to the folks who showed up in our comments, in our chat for the live. That is always cool. We always appreciate you guys' inputs. So I guess just let you guys know where you can find us and the Longbox Crusade in total. We'll start with Chris. Chris, where can folks find you for your movie talk?
You can find me on X at BlackBeltX21.
There you go. And I am on X, Facebook, and Instagram at Yard Sale Artist. And the Longbox Crusade is in lots of different places. You can find Longbox Crusade on X, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Blue Sky, Podcatchers, this, that, the other, Skip, Scap, and Skabobble, as I like to say. So just go out there and look for Longbox Crusade, and you will find us. And I would be remiss if I didn't do one last thing before we go, because I almost did forget. It's time for a Q106.5 podcast, or not a podcast, Q106.5 dance break promo. So let's listen to the Q106.5 and then we'll come back and say our farewells.
Cover the legendary Q106.5 in your car, on your smart speaker, on your phone. Browse to Q1065.com. 80s, 90s. This is a radio station with a vibe. Download our app or listen online. Search at Q1065 Radio on social media. The Q is your favorite radio station. Discover Q106.5 and hear the 80s and 90s hits on the radio station with personality. Q106.5.
I love Q106.5. It's, it's the best thing in the world is when you have a sponsor partnership and you really like the thing.
It's nice because if I'm in the mood for some 80s, if I'm in the mood for just some straight up 80s and 90s, I can flip that on and just listen to it.
It's so good. I love
and and there's some stuff that comes across. They're like, oh my god, I totally forgot about this.
Yes, that's my favorite. Is when a song comes on, I'm like, man, I didn't even thought about that song. And yes, Tony, I am wearing a Kool-Aid Man shirt. Oh yeah. Those of you on the podcast version will never know. I get so many compliments on this Kool-Aid Man shirt when I wear it out and about. By the way.
Well, you're talking the Q1065. I think the best part about it is, it's like, you can get 80s and 90s and say like Sirius XM, but it's all the stuff that's okay. Yeah, it's the stuff that's in regular rotation. It's like, oh yeah, I've heard this song.
100%.
I hear the song all the time.
Yes.
But Q1065, he throws in stuff that, like, man, I haven't heard this in, like I said, in a long time. It's stuff that you don't hear.
Yeah, he's really good about throwing curveballs in there, and it. I've listened to Q1065 for like hours before driving and stuff. He's good for a curveball about every 30 to 45 minutes. Like, it's at least once an hour you're gonna get a song that's like, what? I have not thought about that song in forever. Which is definitely a great thing that Rob's doing over at Q1065. So he's got an app, by the way, folks, Q1065 app that you can get on your phone, which is what I use when I'm driving around. Or when I'm in my house, I just go to q1065.com. So check that out. He's awesome. And he even did a bunch of holiday music starting after, it's, doesn't matter now, but after Thanksgiving, he was rotating in holiday music. And then all day, Christmas Eve, Christmas Day was all holiday music. And it was awesome. We had it on at our house. Kathy says she heard doing the butt today. It had been a while since she heard that one. I don't have any jokes for that at all.
I vaguely remember that song. Now I'm gonna have to go look it up after we're done
here. All right, you go look that up. Chris and I really appreciate you guys being here. We'll see you hopefully on the first Sunday of next month for our next Best Under 5. As soon as we click go off air, Chris and I are going to discuss what we're going to be covering, whether or not he can make it, all these questions that we'll have, but we'll have a show of some kind for you on the first Sunday in February, which is actually February 1st. So it'll be the 1st of February. We will be back. For those of you who love LONGBOX Crusade live stream stuff, the next time to catch us will be 1 week from today. We're going to be doing a classic LONGBOX episode. Jason will be picking the comic that we will cover. So that'll be at 3:30 1 week from today. And on the 13th, Delvin and I will be back with Come Out to Play, the New Warriors podcast, where we're talking about New Warriors issue 59. So that's what you've got coming up. Thanks again for being here, everybody. Best Under 5 has been rated B for. Bye.